With a budget of $100 and the goal of buying a Wii console and some great games, what would I recommend? Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. This console sold 101 million units worldwide. There's tons of them available, but a lot of people for some reason got rid of them, maybe they don't work anymore, and they want to either buy back their childhood, get into gaming, or get into collecting. This is one of the most inexpensive systems for Nintendo out there right now, and it's so readily available. First of all, the prices for this guide are all going to be in US dollars. They're based off of eBay's completed auctions. I'm really persistent, I'm really patient, I try and buy these things locally. If you want to buy a system from online and get it shipped to you, it's usually going to cost a lot for shipping. You might end up spending $100 just getting the system to you and the cost of the system. So keep in mind this is all local. Hopefully you can find a good deal locally. And if you're trying to buy the box, like the box over here for the white Wii U, the price is already probably $100. So I'm not including a boxed console for it. First of all, the system, just to give you some tips, you want to buy a Wii console that plays GameCube games, because you want that backwards compatibility, just in case, if you ever want to play some great GameCube games. So you'll notice the system, on the top, 2 flaps. One of them is for 4 GameCube controllers, 4 GameCube ports. They also work with Wavebirds, by the way. And the other one is for memory cards for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, you can tell if your system can play GameCube games, or the system you might buy can play GameCube games, for a few different ways, or in a few different ways. Number one, if you hold the console like this, and you can read the Wii logo this way, then it means it plays GameCube games. You'll notice over here, the blue system does not have the ability to play GameCube games. The reason why I know that is a few things. Number one, like I said, the logo for the console is kind of on the bottom there, and it's viewable or readable when the system is horizontal like this. It says Wii right here. Additionally, you can notice if you can get a picture of it with the box, this box has a stand with it. The console's on the stand. Same with the black one up here. It's on a stand. The red one's on a stand, but the blue one is not. That means that one does not play GameCube games. Also, the Wii Mini does not play GameCube games. The last way that you can tell, if you can get a picture of this, look at the barcode on the bottom of the console. The barcode on the bottom right here should start with RVL. If it starts with RVL, that means it can play GameCube games. So that's the one I really recommend you buy. It's probably the most sold system in terms of the one that plays GameCube, so that's what you're after. Alright, so the system itself needs to come with something really specific, of course. You want to be able to play some games. So first of all, you want to get a controller. The controller, the original one, is the one that I'm going to include. Now, why do I say it's original? There is another type of controller that you see here that says Wii Motion Plus inside. That's the more desirable one. If you can get lucky, maybe you can find a bundle with this one instead of the original. The Wii Motion Plus inside means it essentially has much better capabilities with trying to capture your motion controls. It almost like it already has a built-in additional gyrometer or something like that. So if you can get that one, that's bonus, but I'm just including the normal one. Along with the Wii Remote, of course, you're going to want to get a Nunchuck. The Nunchuck's attached to the Wii controller. So you just plug it into the bottom here, and these are your 2 controllers. So rather holding a controller like this that's fixed together, this was kind of nice, but you still are restricted by the cord, but the cord's long enough. You're not going to really have any problems. On the Wii Remote, you might or might not want the wrist strap. That's so that you could wear this, and you have seen probably some viral videos of people throwing the Wii Remote straight into the TV, which is unbelievable, but it does definitely happen. I have had friends who threw their Wii Remotes by mistake in the past. Now, to get this, you also need to connect it to your TV, and you need to power the console. So what I'm suggesting that you make sure you get is the official cords with the console. Now, what cords are those? So the cords you're going to need, first of all, is the AC adapter. This is the brick. It plugs into your wall and plugs into the system. It powers your console. It does say Nintendo on the brick itself, and also on the bottom it says Wii AC adapter. That's the official one that you can get with the Nintendo logo and Wii AC adapter. The Wii U AC adapter is a lot bigger, but if you have a Wii U, by the way, it already plays Wii games, so you might as well stick with your Wii U. So you want to get that cord with it, of course. You also want to get the cables that connect it to your TV. Traditionally, it was like this, and then this side plugs into the back of your system. When you use this, the graphics are not in HD, but you can possibly find component cables that work with more modern televisions. So I have seen people selling the Wii with component cables. The Wii component cables are not that expensive. They're nothing like the GameCube component cables. Those things are insanely expensive, the official ones anyways. And the last really important part, you have to get this sensor bar that plugs into the back of the system so that your motions are captured from the Wii remote. So this goes underneath your TV or on top of the TV. You can choose that in the settings on the Wii menu. Now the Wii one is silver, but the Wii U one is black. It doesn't really matter. They both work with your Wii system. Make sure you get those 3 cords with the system. All right, and one last note before I go too far. This system itself usually came with a really fun game called Wii Sports. Normally, I would 100% include this in the list, and I do have to mention that this should come with your system, because it sold 60 to 70 million. Most consoles came with Wii Sports. You can see the white one came with Wii Sports, the black console up there came with Wii Sports, so did the red one, and this system, for some reason, for Wii Sports, this game right now, is selling for $20 US to end up. I have no idea why. It's probably just everyone wants to play this again, and most people lost their copy of the game because it came in this little sleeve. You can also find it in a normal package, but honestly, this $20 to $30 seems insane to me. So once prices go back down and the hysteria kind of stops, I'm hoping that this will be bundled with your system. But right now, I'm not including it. I'm just going to put it to the side kind of awkwardly, because you're probably not going to get all of this for $100. If I include this game, it'll put you over the top. Just going to leave it on the side. All right. The system itself, with the controller, with the nunchuck, with all of the cords, I'm putting a price point of $40 US. I think $40 US is a decent deal. I can find them in my area for $30 to $35 US. You might be able to find them for more expensive, way more commonly, but if you're patient, if you're persistent, and maybe you negotiate a deal, if they put it up for 50 bucks, maybe you offer 40, maybe they accept it. I'm always after a deal. I would have never got this room if I was buying everything at full price. The first game I want to recommend is Super Mario Galaxy. This is one of my favorite games on the system. Normally, I would actually recommend Super Mario Galaxy 2, except that game is twice the price of this one. I'm going to put a price point of this game, if you can hunt for a good deal, at $16 US. That is a good deal for this game. It's commonly going up to $20 US right now, but hopefully you can find it for 16. There is a player's choice version, or at least a Nintendo Selects version rather, that you can find for probably a few less dollars. So if you're comfortable picking up that one, I don't like having the Selects in my collection. I'd rather just get the normal original release. Why is this game so good? This game is fantastic that Nintendo redefined 3D platforming once again. Basically, there's planetoids, there's gravity effects, you're running around trying to collect stars as you always have. However, this game is challenging, it's fun, and I love the music. The orchestra in this is really nice, really good. Except the only problem with this is it says it's a 2-player game. The second person would only ever be pointing at the Wii remote, pointing at the screen with the Wii remote and collecting star bits. So it's really a 1-player game. Right now we only have 1 controller anyways. So I put a price point of this of $16 US. It's a good deal to get Mario Galaxy 1. Next up, another best game on the console. This is the least expensive way to get this game. This is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game is really a continuation, it feels like, especially in spirit, to Ocarina of Time. This is definitely one of the most mature Zelda games. There are parts of this game that will blow you away, especially with the graphics, even on the Nintendo Wii. It does look really good. It's nothing like Breath of the Wild, of course, but I do like the graphics in this game. It is an immense game. It's going to take you a really long time to play. This is a single-player game, so you can't play this with more people. However, if you're looking at buying this game on any other system, on the Nintendo GameCube, it came out at the same time. This game is maybe 3 times the price as the Wii version, so that's why I would recommend the Wii version. And then also, please note there is the Wii U version of this game, which is still more expensive than the one on the Wii. The one on the Wii sold very, very well, and there's copies everywhere. You should be able to get this for $14 to $15 US. Sometimes it's being sold for 20. Offer a little bit less, see if you can get a good deal on this game. It is fantastic. I love the fact that Link can turn into a wolf. It's really quite something, and especially the sword effects in this game, and fighting on horseback felt great for the first time like this on the Nintendo Wii. So $14 for this one. So far we've spent, I think, $40 on the system and controllers, $16 on Super Mario Galaxy, and $14 on Twilight Princess. That's a total of $70 if my math is correct so far. Next up, this is another game that when Nintendo moved this series to 3D, I'm shocked with how well they did it. It is the Metroid Prime game. This is Metroid Prime 3. Metroid Prime Trilogy exists on this system, except it's over $50 US just for that. You get all 3 Metroid Prime games on that one disc. That is possible, but it's definitely not possible in my $100 starter guide. So this game, you're playing as Samus Aran, you're infected, you're corrupted this time around. You can point the Wii remote, and this has some of the best point and shoot I've ever played in terms of controls. This copy usually sells for something like $10 to $12. It's really inexpensive right now. I think it's going to go up to $15 to $20, and that's where some copies are at already. But if you're patient and you try and find a deal, you can definitely find it for something like $10. There's lots of copies out there of this one. Especially because most people don't want this. They want Metroid Prime Trilogy. So for $10, pick it up. Now the copy that I'm holding right now is factory sealed still, which I want to keep it that way because I have Metroid Prime Trilogy opened. However, if you want factory sealed games, the prices go far higher, and I'm aware of that. So I'm not recommending that you collect sealed games because you can't play them, and the prices are a lot higher, but I definitely wanted to show this game off and be part of this list. So that's another $10. That brings us up to $80 in total. We've got $20 left. Now, next up is a 2D, not really 2D, but it's a side-scrolling platformer game that is definitely more challenging than Mario and Kirby. This is Donkey Kong Country Returns. My wife and I both love the Donkey Kong Country series on the Super Nintendo. It's one of the best trilogies I've ever played. The GameCube, Donkey Kong did some very different things with the bongo drums, but here on the Wii, we're back to form. This game is made by Retro Studios, from my understanding, yes. It is the same company that actually made Metroid Prime 3. The same company, the same organization. And this is a really difficult game. It is challenging. The great part about this is you can play 2-player, and the controls in this are a little bit different than what you're used to, but that's not always a bad thing. I don't mind the motion controls in this. Sometimes I run into some problems when I'm trying to roll. You have to use the Nunchuck and the Wii remote and kind of do this to roll. But overall, these are some of the most challenging levels that I have ever beat, especially when you get to the special world, if I want to call it that. So this is a 2-player game. It's a really fun experience. It is a challenge. It's great early on. It's great for all ages as well. This game, I'm putting a price point of $14 US. Sometimes it goes up a little bit more, but hopefully at $14 you can find this. It's sold tons and tons of copies. Tropical Freeze on the Wii U and on the Switch is a completely different game than this. This game has not come out on another home console from my understanding. I don't really know why. I would love to see this get a port to the Switch, but for $14 US, that would be a really good deal on the Nintendo Wii. So far we've spent 40, another 16, another 14, another 10, another 14 roughly. We're at somewhere around $94 US, and that alone might be $100. That's a pretty decent $100 budget without Wii Sports. If I could just find those 4 games with the system, that's a decent deal, and I would recommend it. But with my last $6 for my really stingy prices that I'm trying to recommend that you guys find a good deal, I'm going to recommend a racing game. This is Excite Truck. This is kind of a continuation of the Excite Bike series. This one was an early game on the Wii. It might have been a launch game. I believe it came out in 2006, along with the system came out in 2006. This one, you hold your remote sideways, and it is unbelievably fast action, and the controls feel really, really good. I remember playing this at an EB Game/GameStop and trying it out for the first time, and it was really fun. The great part about this game is it is truly 2 players on it. You can go off-roading, basically, and have a really good time while you race. Now, I would want to recommend Mario Kart Wii. Why is that one not on this list? Because Mario Kart Wii is one of the more expensive Nintendo-made games for this system. Now, my list wasn't supposed to only have Nintendo games, Nintendo-made games. It just kind of worked out that way, that these are some of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and if I can fit them all into the first list, I will. Mario Kart Wii hopefully will be in a future part of the starter guide, but it doesn't fit in because I only have $6 left. So this one, you can sometimes find it for $6. Sometimes it's up to $10, but if you're really patient, I think you can find it for maybe $5 to $8 would be a great deal to get Excite Truck. So here is my $100 starter guide part 1. This one is something that is obviously going to be slightly controversial. If I ever saw a bundle of these 5 games with a console locally, I would recommend picking it up. The system and controllers and cords for $40, Galaxy for, I think, 16-ish, 16, 15, something like that. Twilight Princess for $14, Metroid Prime 3 for $10 because everyone wants Metroid Prime Trilogy instead. Donkey Kong Country Returns for probably something like $14 US, and Excite Truck for something like $6. If you want the box, double the price at least of the system itself. If you want them factory sealed, double or triple or quadruple the prices of these games. So you're going to want to get them used, possibly the Nintendo Selects version. Definitely pick up a Wii console that has GameCube, see if you can get lucky, and find a copy of Wii Sports for pretty cheap, because right now, this game is going insane. So that is my list for my starter guide. I will bring you a part 2 of this likely sometime soon as well. Comment below, what do you agree with? What do you disagree with? What would be your starter guide for $100 for buying this? And can you even find the system for something like $35 to $45 US in your area? Thanks so much for watching. Keep in mind, I'm trying to post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays around 10 o'clock Eastern Time. That's my new goal. Also, if you can click the bell notification, that'll help you just be notified when I post a video if you're interested. Thanks again for watching. Keep smiling while gaming. Go collect them all. Stay safe, everyone.